Hi guys, it's Practical Mommy from MyMommyManual.com, and I'm here with Claire Keeling, who is the owner of Sorted Out Inc. She is an organizational expert, and I know as a busy mom, I need some organizational tips. So, what do you have for us today?
Well, there's lots of fun stuff to talk about. I hear from moms many things that they're frustrated about, and we're just going to cover some of the hot topics that people seem to want to have information about. And I'm a mom of a 11-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old son. So I'm dealing with 6th grade issues, I'm dealing with 4th grade issues. We just went to middle school, so I think the first thing we'll talk about, I'm going to bend down. You get my little prop, which is a backpack. And one of the things that middle school kids deal with is dealing with a locker.
Yes.
And a backpack, and these are things that you don't have to deal with much when you're in middle school. At least at my kids' school, they don't have that. They bring their backpack to school, and they sit in the same classroom all day long. Well, now when you switch schools and you have a locker and a backpack, they almost become the black holes. And I wanted to share this really great book, if I can get it in a way that you can see it, called The Organized Student.
Awesome.
And Donna Goldberg wrote this book, and it is really a great tool for time management. It's a great tool for a lot of different issues that we have related to our kids in school. And she does cover in this book about how there's 2 black holes, which are the backpack and the locker.
I find the black hole with a backpack now, for sure.
I would agree, and it just gets worse when you have a locker. And the thing that makes the locker kind of an enigma, it's because the kids don't want you to go to school to help them clean it out. They don't want you up there. You know, in middle school, they're great with you hanging out, and you're talking to all the moms, and you're hanging with all the teachers. In middle school, you know, drop me off at the curb and don't even get close. And so it's, you know, you go when school gets started, you go and you help them get the locker decorated. And if I've got a daughter, so for girls, the whole decorating is a really big deal. But then they don't want you coming up there finding out how it's working, if they're cleaning it out. And so a great time for parents to help their kids with a clean out of the locker is either Friday afternoons, go up there on a Friday afternoon, help them with a black trash bag, or breaks if you've got like a half day or a 3 or 4 day weekend. Sometimes schools are still open because teachers have meetings, and you could then get in there with no other students around and you can help them, because the stuff that lands in the locker are just miscellaneous papers, wrappers.
I was going to say,
junk.
is there food?
It just gets old after a while, and just like I think back to whenever I was in school. I remember in college, in high school, there was like 4 of us in high school. We shared a locker. What was that all about? We must not have used any books, because I don't know how we could have done that. But so that does become a black hole, because parents often hear from their kids, hey, you're not supposed to stop by here, so they just let it go, and they think their kids are going to handle it. And then the school year is over, and they're like, oh my gosh, we have a total mess in the locker. Parents really do need to help intervene. And if they can develop some skills in middle school, then when the kids get to high school, then they kind of know how to maintain that locker.
Okay.
The backpack is an easy fix, only because this is one from a couple of years ago, and it comes home every night. So I'm a big fan of the backpacks that have multiple sections, and you want all your heavy stuff in the back, all your light stuff in the front. But you know, kids now have cell phones, you know, it all kind of goes in here, and this really becomes a black hole for a lot of kids. This needs to be cleaned out every night. The parents need to help. And we can talk about this at a later time, but an inbox really needs to be something that you have at your house, where the papers come out of the backpack and it goes right into the inbox, and then the parents help them sort it later.
Okay.
And so the reason this is a black hole is because often kids are schlepping it around, and they don't clean it out. Yeah, so they need their parents' help. Again, we as parents have to model so many behaviors. This is an organization skill that we have to model.
I was going to say, you know, I can't really look at their backpack without looking at my purse.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We know when we need to do some maintenance. The good thing about women and purses, though, is we often change our purses with our shoes. People aren't changing their backpacks. It's the same thing all the time. And I think it's different, too. I don't know if you've noticed with your kids. It depends on which kid it is in my house.
Oh, yeah.
My daughter's pretty good about maintaining the backpack, and then my son, it kind of piles up over a couple days if I'm not in it. So I need, and you know, the papers are all crumpled at the bottom, and you know, you want to save them because they might be important. So so we need to really help our kids with both the backpack and the locker, because they become black holes.
Well, thank you, Claire.
Absolutely.
Very helpful.